Hey, it's Mario here, and in this video I wanted to address the issue of getting rid of loose skin after losing weight. I've been getting a lot of questions on this, especially from guys who've been successfully dieting for months and months. They've lost a bunch of weight, but they're not happy with the way they look because of that excess skin effect. I mean, they just feel like they have a lot of loose skin and now they're not really happy with their progress, although they've been quite good with their diet. I mean, they lost 50-60 pounds in 6 months. Some of my clients as well, they lose a bunch of weight, but in the end they don't get that desired physique that they're looking for, that lean, strong, ripped physique, right? So what can we do about the loose skin effect? So I wanted to dive into a little bit of the research and see what is actually happening here. What can we do? What is in our control? Because a lot of this obviously is outside of our control, but there are certain things we can do. So the first thing I want to address here is really that most people will confuse excess skin and loose skin when in reality that is a situation where you still have a lot of subcutaneous fat remaining, right? So that's important to realize there, because before you diagnose yourself like having problems with loose skin, let's first determine whether that's skin or that's fat still under the skin. Because if there's fat still under that skin, I mean, your skin doesn't have a reason to come back to its previous size. I mean, skin is an organ, it's changing over time, it's fluctuating. We know that over, let's say, as we age, over the course of decades, our elasticity of skin really diminishes, and that's a big problem. So we want to address this as soon as possible. So what do I mean by diagnosing whether you have loose skin or not? Well, you can easily see that because skin is typically about 2 to 3 millimeters in thickness. You can, if you're not sure how much that is, if you just look at the back of your hand, if you pinch yourself, you'll see how thick the skin is. And anything more than that is really fat remaining there. So you want to get rid of that fat first. And now the issue is that that fat is often stubborn fat in the areas of the lower abdominal muscles covering the lower abs, or whether it's like the glutes, whether it's the hips, whether it's the lower back, you know, those stubborn areas. So now, I mean, there's a variety of methods and solutions for that as well, which basically require a lot of patience and a lot of dedication, because this is not that easy mode fat loss, which is like where fat really easily comes from, is like the upper back, the arms, the shoulders, the chest, and your face. Typically, these areas, they lose fat quite fast. So when it comes to the stubborn fat, you can definitely check out one piece of material that I would highly recommend is the Stubborn Fat Solution by Lyle McDonald. It's a great book. You will learn a lot about the stubborn fat and really how it operates, and he's going to give you a couple of solutions in the book as well. I mean, it does require a lot of patience. You don't have to use any special methods. There's really none of that special effect where you can like target the body fat with some magical diet or some exercise plan. It really requires more patience, caloric deficit, and reducing weight further. So now that we covered that, I mean, what if you are a guy who is 8 to 10% body fat, you're really ripped, but you have that excess skin, now you diagnose yourself, what are some of the things you can do? So I'm going to give you basically a couple of solutions here. And the first one, I mean, we have to mention that is surgery, right? So that's the most obvious solution. A lot of people really go for that, you know, they just go for surgery. I personally would not go for surgery. I mean, if there's any other chance that I can influence this, and there are other solutions, but I mean, if all the other things are exhausted and if you want to really give it a try, I mean, definitely it's an option. According to the statistics from 2003, I mean, about 53,000 people every year in the United States go through this type of surgery. I mean, they just get rid of the excess skin. I'm not sure what are the effects of surgery and how you can deal with that, but I'm sure if you're interested in that, you can do your own research on the topic. So surgery is the solution number one. The solution number two is building more muscle, right? What does building more muscle do? Well, if you have more size, your skin has to basically become tighter because you're filling up, right? And the same effect happens if you're putting on body fat, and if you, especially excess body fat, I mean, your skin has to get bigger, right? It has to expand. And same thing, if you build muscle, it has to expand. Now, the issue is that it's a lot easier to lose fat and gain fat than it is to gain and build muscle, right? So, I mean, it's a lot easier, as they say, you know, it's easier to burn the house down than to build this house from scratch. So you want to make sure to really put in work in a good training plan that allows you for progressive overload, building strength over time. Also getting a higher protein diet and really fueling yourself with enough calories to build muscle, and that will allow you to get a great looking physique and also solve most of the loose skin issues. For, I would say, for majority of guys, for like 80-90% of guys, this will solve the problem, because once you put on more muscle, once you put on more size, I mean, this is definitely something that will kind of resolve itself. And putting on more size, I mean, it takes a while. I mean, it can take 5-10 years or something like that, but it's still, I mean, eventually you will get rid of the problem and you will look better and better as you more progress, as you build more muscle. So that's definitely one of the best solutions I'd recommend. And building muscle in general is something that you have to do if you're a guy who's interested in looking great. I mean, you can go in through an aggressive diet and really cut the calories a lot and then add a ton of cardio without doing proper resistance training. You will lose a lot of fat, but in the end, you will basically turn from fat to like skinny fat, and then you will have that loose type of fat and really that look that nobody wants, right? So that's often a case with guys who don't have a lot of muscle mass, is they end up being skinny fat rather than really looking great and having that Hollywood actor physique or whatever type of physique you're looking for. So the building muscle is the obvious solution. The solution further, as we dive into, I mean, there's obviously dietary choices that we can make to improve our diet that will allow us to improve our skin elasticity. One thing is eating enough protein, right? So a high protein diet definitely does help with skin health. I mean, this has been well documented in the research. Another thing is eating a plenty amount of vegetables and fruits. I mean, plenty of vegetables and fruits in your diet directly help with your skin health, and they will help with skin elasticity. They provide the necessary micronutrients as well. I'm going to leave a research study that's quite interesting on this in the description below for you guys that want to nerd out, that want to dive into the PubMed research. Definitely helpful. Aside from that, I mean, there's obviously, I mean, eating and getting enough sleep, you know, that's a big problem if you eat your diet as well, but if you don't get enough sleep, then obviously the effects are less and less in terms of both fat loss and muscle gain. So if you get proper amounts of sleep, you'll notice even acute effects. I mean, even day to day, when you get a proper amount of sleep, you'll notice how your skin looks better. And definitely, as any other organ, throughout the sleep process, it gets repaired, same as every other function in your body. So sleep is absolutely critical. I mean, getting proper amount of sleep, I've talked about this many times. I'm going to leave a video in the description below how to improve and how to get better sleep. So check that out as well. Further, if you look at the realm of supplementation, I mean, things that have been shown some promising evidence to improve skin elasticity is omega-3 fish oils. I mean, this is definitely one of the effects of omega-3, one of many. I mean, there's a ton of benefits there for building muscle, losing fat, like all these other benefits. Definitely get your omega-3s for the proper dosage. I'm going to leave a link in the description below as well if you're curious about the proper dosage. Aside from that, interestingly, creatine has shown to be having some good effects in terms of synthesizing collagen. So that's a pretty interesting supplement there. I mean, creatine has a variety of different applications. I mean, it can be found in certain creams and all these other things that you can use. And this is definitely a piece of a thing that you need to research for yourself and really see if that will help you. I mean, you want to try it out and see if it does help. Creatine in general is a supplement that doesn't have any side effects. I mean, it has been well tested and well documented for the last couple of decades. We know that it's good. We know it's good for building muscle, having more energy, for brain function, for immune system. I mean, for all these other things. So I'm pretty sure it's involved as well in positive effects when it comes to skin elasticity, I mean, just by looking at the research. So, I mean, those would be some of the things that you can do. Essentially, I mean, as I said, build more muscle, live a healthier lifestyle, adopt these healthy habits in your life. And at the end of the day, if none of this works, if you're really impatient, you can go for surgery, which I don't recommend. Personally, I mean, I would not do it myself, but I mean, again, it's your own choice how you want to approach this. And that is pretty much the summary of how to get rid of the loose skin and excess skin after losing a bunch of weight. Aside from that, I mean, let me know in the comments below, have you ever had a chance to deal with this, or do you know someone like your colleague or a friend who had to deal with this a lot? So what did they do? What are some of the things that they've done as well? And make sure to hit that subscribe button below to support the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.